in terms of the Raiders, man, we'll start with the strengths, and y'all drop in the comment section as well, man. Some strengths that you guys see when you're looking at the Raiders. Initially, though, man, I got to talk about Devontae Adams. You talk about all-war receiver, a guy that makes their offense relevant any point in time is him. He's a guy that wins one-on-ones. You double him, he can still win. Jimmy G will force it to him, he'll win. He could be double coverage, he still typically wins, or he at least draws a ton of attention. You look at his statistics, whoever's been at quarterback, whether it's been Rodgers, whether it's been Carr, it doesn't matter. He's the constant in terms of his productivity. So, obviously, man, he's one of them dudes that we're going to have to account for. He's not no Amari Cooper. He's definitely not a Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk. So, to me, man, I definitely look at him and I'm like, it starts with him for me, man.
That's the first name I got on my list, too. I also have Jacoby Myers because
he's coming back, too, from the concussion, potentially.
He should, right, because
Yeah.
I think today was his first practice, and they featured him a ton in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's this amazing receiver or anything, but he did some good things with the Patriots, and obviously McDaniel has that connection to them. And for whatever reason, I think they're going to be targeting Myers a fair amount. Like, he's good. Like, he knows how to, like, get open.
Mm-hmm.
He's a veteran.
He has good speed, too. I thought
Yeah,
he plays
yeah.
fast.
He's one of those, how would you say it? Quick guys.
But you know,
get the quick separation and whatnot.
He's benefiting from not being in New England. In New England, you might have messed around and viewed Jacoby as the one.
Right.
If
he was the one.
Right,
the receivers were so
that's
bad,
a way different concept. Whereas now he's opposite Devontae Adams. You're not single coveraging Devontae. You single him, man, you better be careful because he has that type of talent. So Jacoby is getting the two corner, but is getting it in one-on-one. And that's at least the first game he carved him up. I low-key was, happy he wasn't available this past weekend. It made my life a little bit easier,
Yeah, that's what I was watching the Bills game. As I'm watching, I'm like,
that's the difference.
All we got to do
Okay.
is match up against all these other guys single, but double Devontae the whole game. We should be fine. Press up on them, get that pass rush and whatnot.
Literally, that's
but
it, bro.
then I realized Jacoby Myers might be coming back, and then I remembered after watching that Raiders-Broncos game that they featured him a lot. So he's going to be the second guy we got to worry. I think those are the two main guys, Devontae and Jacoby. 100%. Not as worried about Jacobs, but obviously he's good. We got to be on our P's and Q's with him.
I like it, man. I like it. The next thing that I had, I thought that for Jimmy G, it was more so his decision making. I feel like he's a quarterback that keeps them on schedule. The turnovers that he has, especially watching the game last week, man, it was off of a tip. And then the other one was a heck of a play by, all-pro middle linebacker, jumping over the top of a guy, mossing him. You know how that go, man.
He literally mossed the running back on
it was crazy.
dump off.
It was crazy. I can't be I said, oh, this is nuts, bro. But other than that, Jimmy G rarely puts the ball in harm's way. He's typically, when we talk about game managers, to me, he's the poster boy of the poster boy game managers. All right. So it's more so when I look at him, it's not that I'm worried about him doing something amazing. It's just that he's not going to put them in position like how we saw with Watson last week, because Watson trying to extend plays and do some of the hero ball stuff. That's ultimately how you can get a team, or get a guy to put a ball in harm's way or turn the ball over. Jimmy typically doesn't do that. So it's pros to that, but it's also, we know the cons is it kind of limits you in terms of if it's not on schedule, you're kind of screwed. Which at times last week, you saw that firsthand. When it wasn't on schedule, it's like you're kind of dead in the water right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second, I have Max Crosby.
Love it.
And he's really the only guy I'm worried about in the Raiders front seven because the interior on the D-line, The other side, they got Tyree Wilson. That's the guy they drafted. Obviously, Chandler Jones is on the not play list or whatever.
He need to go to ayahuasca, bro.
Their linebackers, Spillane is starting for them.
Yo, chill. All right. Don't you just say it's Spillane. Don't just say it like that. It's our Robert Spillane. You feel me? He one of us, baby. Think about man. He rock. What up, man? They one of ours, man. He one of ours.
He's the ops now.
Already? That's Spillane.
And I like that for us.
It's Spillane, though.
And I like that for us.
Knight Rider 16, don't do that. He say Spillane going to do Najee like he did Derrick Henry.
Well, not if we get Jaylen Warren out there.
Okay, thank God.
Let's get Jaylen Warren on the field a little bit more.
You're right. Jaylen Warren, no. Najee, I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, Diablo is not bad.
Yeah.
And then they also got Luke Masterson.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, outside of Max Crosby, I don't have much concern for their front seven. Let's be focused more on that right side. Maybe we help out Chooks a little bit. And pray to God that Dan Moore can handle his own on the left. And the interior linemen can handle their own against these guys.
Tyree becomes a pass rusher at the NFL level. Let's hope not, right?
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Honestly, this wouldn't be a bad game to throw Broderick Jones out there. Rookie on rookie.
I don't hate it.
Wouldn't be a bad one.
I don't hate it.
I don't think we're going to do it, but...
Nah, let Dan get his confidence back, man.
Yeah, hopefully Moore could hold his own. Yeah, Max Crosby. He's the one mismatch. I think really their defense as a whole, because, I'm not that impressed with their secondary either. Marcus Peters, he's their number one guy, but he's getting up there in age. Then you got Nate Hobbs. He's never been that much of a factor. We could target him.
You what about was it Morig?
Yeah, he's not a bad safety, but you get what I mean. There's no other game breakers like Max Crosby on their defense that stick out like that.
And I like your energy, baby. I had Max Crosby as well, so I'm not gonna bore y'all with that since you already dropped on him. The last person I had as a strength, though, or last thing as a strength, it was more so just Josh Jacobs. I'm not even gonna call it the run game just yet because they are still figuring out what they are right now in terms of how they want to run it, the styles of run, the O-line as well. Maybe it was just the no Jacoby Myers really threw them all the way off, even though I don't know how because he didn't practice all week. But outside of that first drive last week, man, their offense, even with Jacobs, just never really looked right. But he is still very dynamic. I mean, when he gets the ball, you're like, all right, you got to be on go and ready for him. But it's just weird the rest of the offense, man, in terms of when it's surrounding him, run plays, screen plays, stuff like that. But he's obviously still somebody that we got to be cognizant of because the past two games we've allowed 60-plus yard touchdown runs or 60-plus yard runs, and he is definitely one of them dudes that is capable of doing the exact same thing, man.
So what's funny, I have Jacobs as my last guy too.
Bro,
but I did.
Why are we twinning today?
I didn't put Jimmy G though.
You thought about him.
No,
you thought about Jimmy. You thought about Jimmy. You was loving it. You was like, you say Jimmy called him porn star Jimmy. Which one did you go with, man?
No.
It's all right if you like Jimmy, bro. I'm not tripping on you liking Jimmy G. It's all good, bro. I'm with you, man. He beat your boy Rodgers. Remember that?
I got that advantage
remember when he went on the road in the playoffs and big one? Remember you said big winning in the playoffs. He did it on the road, big winning. Yep. I know you was feeling Jimmy G.
I don't think it's gonna be the same for Jimmy G with the Raiders. He doesn't have that 49ers defense. He doesn't have Kyle Shanahan anymore. But let's see how this season plays out for the Raiders.
G, he got a cool name.
No, but people in the chat are wondering, because I did drop Jacob's name whenever I mentioned Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers. I said those two, and I said also Josh Jacobs, but not really. And I agree with you. It's because Josh Jacobs in the running game this year for the Raiders ain't the same as last year, at least based off these first 2 weeks. It's pretty bad. Like, their O-line is not that good. Jacobs has been doing some stuff in the passing game with some dump offs, so that's why I do have him here. Like, him just being out there
as an individual.
It's not necessarily the running game because he did lead the league last year in rushing yards, but I mean that's definitely not the case this year. He had negative yards in last week's game.
But
Raiders O-line not that good.
Bad matchup last week. You know how that go, bro.
It's not going to be a good matchup for them this week either.
The blueprint is out there.
But yeah, you never know. Like Jimmy G could dump one off to Jacobs, whatnot. So our linebackers got to be keying in on Jacobs and making sure they make tackles. That's really it. And I think our guys are definitely capable. Cole Holcomb, Landon Roberts. We just talked to him. He's in the dark zone, or what did he say?
Dark grind.
The dark grind, yeah. And then Quan Alexander.
Should we turn our lights off too? I don't know. I'm in the dark ground with him. That'd be kind of weird. Me and you in here in dark. We trying to record. They be like, y'all can't see. They definitely can't see me, Deke. If I turn the light off, they ain't gonna see me at all. You got a chance. I don't have zero possibility of them seeing me unless you light a lighter in here or something, bro. It's a wrap for me, okay? So I don't know if we need to go dark grind today, but y'all catch y'all drift.
Yeah, right? We could pass on that.
For sure.
I'm also seeing Renfro's name being brought up.
Yeah.
They don't use him anymore.
They don't, though.
I actually wouldn't mind trading for him.
Ooh. Where you like him at, though?
just slot help on the inside for Kenny.
So you gonna keep Calvin outside then? Or you keep him? Oh, I'm trying to figure out. Because we
think
getting
for
little,
now, I think Allen Robinson takes a seat maybe.
Oh, fair enough. I was say something.
We just got to work the middle of the field more, I think.
Yeah.
Like I was seeing how the Bills played against the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is stopping us from running this Bills offense?
Nothing. Literally nothing. It wasn't a freaky.
Josh Allen was dinking and dunking it. Outside of him making plays on his own and extending it.
But as a whole, was it.
He threw for like 13 for 13 his first couple series.
He literally just took what they gave him. It wasn't any crazy. It wasn't an arm talent throw. It wasn't none of that. Oh my, he did.
He did have some impressive ones
down the yard.
Yeah.
But as a whole, what I'm saying is 80% of the game, bro. That's all it was. And James Cook.
They were doing runs out of shotgun.
That was literally it, bro. That was it. It was nothing crazy.
There's no reason we can't run that style of offense.
When I tell you
Canada should take
the blueprint
notes.
is there, bro. The blueprint is there, man.
I hope he's taking notes. I don't want to be complimenting the Bills too much here, but
that's crazy, bro.
That was a simple way that we can improve our offense. If we could just look at what the Bills did last week against the Raiders, we should incorporate some of that. Yeah, not hard.
Respect, man. Respect. All right, let's see what the people were saying on the chat. Unless you had anything else you wanted to add.
No, that was it.
All right. So before we transition to our weaknesses part, let's see what they said in here, man.
They have no Darren Waller anymore, and Hooper's really not that much of a threat. And they drafted Michael Mayer. They're not using him.
Nope.
That early either in the season. We got Malachi Esposito saying feed Muth.
Respect.
Damn. Chris Topetti says Josh Jacobs 100+ inbound.
It's because you were saying that he won't go do that. They said if you talking bad on him, he about to cook us.
We gotta watch him, but
if
I'm not that scared of him.
For 100 yards on us this week after what I just watched last week, bro.
Then I'm really concerned about our D-line and our rush defense.
I swear, bro. I swear. Like that. No, there's no reason why. This is the get right game. This is the get back week, man. Period, man. This got to happen, man. Let's see. Do I see anything? It's like Kenny only looks at. No. All right. Well, guess we'll go to the next part then.
Robert Williamson says Spillane going to get cooked by Muth. Can't cover. Yeah, that goes back to targeting the middle of the field.
Yeah, because literally the difference between what they have Spillane doing there versus what we would have him do before we started running a lot of the Tampa 2 stuff, they're strictly zone dropping him. He's not having to play hard man, but because of that, that's why the middle of the field is open. The tight ends cook. The running back, the drop off make him have to come and tackle in space. He had a ton of tackles last week, but that was it, just trying to take advantage of that part of it, man. And it's there. It's definitely there, man. I would love for us to come out and play this game in 12 personnel the whole day on time and work crossers, stops, outs, tight ends is the focal point, occasional shots downfield with Pickens, man.
Let Kenny cook.
Yeah. But it's not even you got to go crazy. It's just literally, this is whatever you give me, I'm reading your leverage. Okay, you're here, I'm going out here. You're there, I'm going right here. Because that is how they played last week, man.
So what are we doing here? Like advantages we got?
Yeah, man. So
what do we like about our chances?
Yeah, so or the things that we feel like they're going to struggle, or the things that we think they struggle with specifically. So when I look at the Raiders on defense, some of the weaknesses that I see from them, you had brought up it earlier in terms of not a lot of playmakers on defense. That was one of the things that I had put. Max Crosby is a playmaker. He's a good player. Marcus Peters, he's a playmaker. He's a good player. Those are two.
He's like their second best player on their whole defense.
I just
probably.
gave you the order.
That's what I mean.
I just gave you the order. So when we say not a lot of playmakers on defense, think about just the order of operations. Max Crosby, Marcus Peters, and now we over here saying, okay, is it Morig? Are we throwing Spillane in here? Are we going how? Like who are we going to throw as that third guy? Whereas when we say our playmakers on defense, Minkah Fitzpatrick, T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, you know what I mean? Oh, we got Pat P over here.
Pat P.
You feel me? Like it just hit different. Oh, we got Robert Spillane. Okay, well, we got Quan Alexander. We got.
And Cole Holcomb and Roberts.
Like, I just feel better about our playmakers than theirs. We got Larry Ogunjobi. Larry been playing really well. So
has Leal and Benton.
That's what I'm saying. I just feel like they don't have
Nick Herbig, Marcus Golden as our third and fourth rushers.
Yeah, they just don't have as many playmakers on their defense. And yeah, that's definitely something I think that we'll be able to exploit and take advantage of, man.
So what I have written down here for my first one is I like the Steelers' front seven versus their O-line.
Mm-hmm.
Both pass rush and run defense.
Yep.
Now, we talked a little bit about our run defense versus Josh Jacobs and the Raiders O-line and the mismatch. But pass rush, man, I was seeing some of those Bills guys get after Jimmy G and fluster him. If he wasn't getting the ball out quick, like he didn't know what to do with the ball. So, I mean, I would say our edge rushers, our front seven, maybe not front seven as a whole, because Bills, who do they have outside of Milano as their linebackers?
They got the young guy, got Dorian.
Let's just say our D-line. Our D-line and edge rushers. I'll take ours over the Bills. So I think
we got TJ Watt, bro.
Yeah, we got TJ. We got the depth. We got these interior guys too that are playing pretty well.
Vaughn's hurt. Say it.
Oh, come on, dude.
Come on, man. What Madden say?
Come on.
What Madden say, man?
All I'm saying is if the Bills were able to get off on the Raiders O-line like that, we should be able to too. This trend should continue.
If you think about it,
6 sacks against Watson last week.
If you think about
I think we get 4 and 5. Now, if the Raiders are smart, they try to get the ball out of Jimmy G's hands pretty quick, and they actually try to feature Hunter Renfrow, but they haven't been doing that. So, I hope they keep doing what they've been doing and forgetting that Renfro's on their team.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up O-line. That was low-key the first thing I wrote, but I had tongue-tied myself and started talking defense. But, yeah, I'm with you, man. O-line, the pass pro and running game, they don't win the line of scrimmage. Low-key, man, at times it was looking like us, and that's bodes well for us because I feel like our matchup and their matchup are not the same. We struggled last week, but we was going against, a situation that is not going to be what we're going against this week. The Raiders, they walking into a buzzsaw. I'm just being real. Buffalo, I love that front up there. The Steelers' pass rushing front, though, is better. In terms of outside and inside is more complete. Buffalo is heavy on the outside. You got Ed Oliver on the inside. You know what I mean? Like, everybody else is kind of like fighting. Here we got legit, like a Cam Hayward. If Cam is healthy, Buffalo doesn't have a Cam. See what I mean? Larry O is the Ed Oliver comp to me. And think about Larry as our number 2. We still got
and then we got the young bucks.
You see what I mean? Yeah. That's what I'm like. We're deep. And then in terms of our rushers.
And we brought up Fihoko, too.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah. And it's like, I just feel like we're deeper there. But as a whole front seven, in terms of like when you put the linebackers included, that's when I'm like, all right, it balances out because of the whole Milano effect and just what he's able to bring. But for us, it should be very similar or worse in terms of how we're rushing and getting after this front and playing against the run with this front because this O-line, they're just not very talented. I'm going to just leave it like that. Yeah. Which you got last one, though, man?
I think, don't we have 2 more for this? Well, I already said this in a way because our offense versus their defense.
That was my second one. That was not your second one. My bad.
Yeah, I like our chances for the O-line to get right against the Raiders front seven and all the reasons I said whenever we were talking about the mismatches and whatnot because I feel like in terms of the star power on our defense, it's only Max Crosby.
Yeah.
So hopefully the O-line here can look good. Like I said, help Chooks over on the right side here or there, but everyone else should be able to hold their own, open up some running lanes for Najee Warren and protect Pickett.
Like I said, if they can't, we really got some issues, bro. Like, because this isn't a matchup where we're looking at them.
These two games are the ones build confidence, get right, start gelling together, build that chemistry.
100%. We should win the line of scrimmage, man, with not ease, but we should. It should be one of them ones where we're like, we control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, man. The last thing I had, though, in terms of weakness for them was a consistent running game. This year, they have not shown that they can run the ball consistently, inside or outside. Do they got a dynamic player back there? Yes. But because of what the O-line is looking like right now or how they are playing right now, it's not matching. And at times, they just got to go away from it, too. So with me, man, I think that it should still look like that this week. The only thing that I get concerned about, unfortunately, is because I've seen it 2 times now, is if the ball finds a way to Levi Wallace and he has to tackle Josh Jacobs one-on-one, is he going to make it every single time? That's my only concern right now because I've seen it happen 2 times and it didn't work and those resulted in 60-yard runs. Like, outside of that, I feel good about our situation.
Targeting runs for cornerbacks, how doable or usual is that?
Everyone targets the cornerback because they can't tackle.
That's just in general?
Yeah,
okay.
That's the whole purpose. It's on your defense, though, to hide that. That's why we say run to the ball because your corner, just slow him down. Shoot at his legs, Don't wait on him. You just got to go. Shoot at his legs, get him to cut back, let the cavalry get to him, or hold him up. Or if he's about to run you over, go for the ride, but then make sure you trip over you. But what you can't do is take the phantom angle. First week, it was the missed tackle. This week, the angle kind of a little questionable. And then, obviously, we know he doesn't have the great chase. Or at least it didn't appear to be a great chase on tape, right?
Yeah, I saw that again today. It was terrible. It's probably worse the fifth time I watched it.
Okay. And especially when you look at how Minka was running. So, forgive me if I don't want to just give him the benefit of the doubt for the third time in a row versus a running back that's not named Jerome Ford. This is Josh Jacobs. He's very similar to the Christian McCaffrey talk, you know? So, for me, I'm just like, do that. Just make sure you tackle that. Because they're going to find a way. If they're watching the same tape, like I know I do it, I know they do, that's what they're going to be hunting. They're going to be saying, yo, let's block all this up, muddy all this up, and you just find a way to where we can get that. That's the matchup we need.
My last one is I like the KP8 to Pickens connection versus the Raiders secondary. I don't think anyone out there should be able to stop that. I know Peters is a guy.
Yeah.
But I like Pickens, man. Even if it is one-on-one. Like, that's something else, too. Why don't we toss a couple up? Just on the side like we were doing last year. One-on-one scenario. Toss up the Pickens, man. He's going to catch it. And Pickett and Pickens were doing that a ton last year.
Kenny's got to throw it, man.
So, do
Kenny's
that
gotta
more.
throw it, bro.
Do that more. And then, like I said, utilize Muth against these linebackers, middle of the field.
Like I said, man, it's there. He's got to throw it, baby. If he throw it, man, we straight. And just throw it with confidence, man. That's my thing. Do it with confidence. Cause it's
like
there.
he did in the preseason.
Exactly. It's there. Just do it with confidence, man.
So those are
like it though,
my
bro.
3 things I like for the Steelers, or advantages I think we'll have over the Raiders.
We on the same. Yeah. We definitely on the same with it, baby.